under pressure from a conservative activist. So a few of the changes here.
Like, I hate that this is the peak of activism in America, is like always centered around consumption. You know what I mean? Walmart puts out, like, I don't know, t-shirts or something, and then they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, we're going to take away the t-shirts. It's like, was the initial act even all that significant in terms of progress?
Morning, a major decision at Walmart, not about holiday sales, but about diversity programs, also known as DEI programs. It's joining a growing list of companies rolling them back.
This morning, the world's largest retailer says it's rolling back some of its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Walmart, which employs more than 1.5 million Americans, joins a list of major corporations revising DEI initiatives. The company saying every decision comes from a place of wanting to foster a sense of belonging, to open doors to opportunities for all our associates, customers, and suppliers.
This is the single largest employer in the United States. We are talking about a company that is worth almost...
This guy getting play is so gross. Robbie Starbuck. Yeah, it's real, man. This is really what happened. I can't believe this motherfucker is like a prominent... He is a prominent figure in the Republican movement. And it reminds me of this other prominent figure in the Republican movement. Scott Pressler, baby. Who called the CNN piece a hit piece. Let's take a look.
Delivered. Those are the words of a man few people know, but a man who was key to Donald Trump's win in Pennsylvania. The controversial conservative activist Scott Pressler,
he looks exactly like the other guy.
Involved in the group Gays for Trump, a vocal election denier.
I used to hate you. The more content of yours I saw, the more I saw you had reasonable takes, and the impression I've been given of you was incorrect. Keep being amazing. Hell yeah, chatter. I'm glad that you were able to watch this content charitably.
By the Twitter handle, The Persistence. He helped deliver that all-important must-win state for Trump, in large part by focusing on, as he says, the Amish, frat guys, and hunters, among other groups. And Pressler, as our Ellie Reeve reports, is just getting started.
Everybody just big smile and look cute. Okay. Cheese. Cheese.
Scott Pressler is the kind of political figure only possible in the Trump era, going from social media influencer to actual proximity to power.
Scott! Scott! Scott!
Pressler is taking credit for turning Pennsylvania red. He created a PAC, Early Vote Action, to register voters.
Is there a reason the biggest critique I always hear about you from mostly sane people is that you cherry pick? Cherry pick what? Like, are the criticisms, I don't know who you're talking about in terms of like mostly sane people, but are the criticisms just that you're a cherry picker? Are the criticisms valid, or do they not actually stand on their own, especially when, you know, oh, people you meet in real life, yeah, they're probably watching clips, dude. What do you mean? Yeah. Why would that even be a problem? From like a random person that you meet in your life, you're like, hey, I really like this Hasan guy. I watch him and he's like, I hate that guy because he cherry picks. Honestly, this is more offensive than saying they're dying for nothing. Ukrainians are fighting and dying every day so that we can be safe and enjoy the right to say asinine, ignorant, and cowardly things on podcasts. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm just asking. I mean, you should ask them what they mean when they say cherry picker. I've never actually heard anybody say that. I wish someone could, you know, give an example of what they mean. But if I'm being super charitable, I assume they mean like, oh, he actually will address like the worst criticism that someone has made and not address like the reasonable criticisms that people are making. But the problem is they're not making reasonable criticisms. Yeah. The one consistent through line with a lot of people who hate me that most likely agree with a lot of what I talk about is that they've probably seen some clips, and the clips that they saw left a sour taste in their mouth, and understandably they're busy, so they're not going to examine further. They're not going to go to the root cause. They're not going to like make up their own mind. Many people do this. I am sure have been victim to this as well about other people, random people. And they just operate off of vibes. And sometimes they'll meet sometimes they'll see like a drama tuber slop content that they watched and make up their minds and move on. And why should they? Why should they go further? You know, it makes sense. I also am very sarcastic usually. So that I think like I have a sarcastic tone when I talk that I think people don't fully understand. And if they're not aware of my convictions, if they're not aware of my worldview, that leads people astray. T-Pain thought I was a conservative for the longest time, you know? I think I rely too much on how much commentary I've dedicated to being anti-Trump, anti-Republican, anti-religious fundamentalism, that like the expectation is that people will know, especially if they find themselves in this community, exactly what I'm talking about, not considering that there are people that are not in this community that are simply seeing clips out of context. Now, of course, having said that, your sarcasm doesn't track with people below the age of 27. Yeah, I don't agree with that either. You're just saying that because people below the age of 27 are mostly relying on clips. They're not coming in here to watch. They're not learning anything about my worldview, and why should they? I totally understand it. And if your argument is, you know, or if your solution is stop being sarcastic, well, you're f***ing stupid. I'm not going to stop doing commentary and trying to be entertaining in the way that I have developed my my stream around, just because people are maliciously dedicated to framing me in a negative light.
And targeted the Amish, frat guys, hunters, and other groups. His PAC got a $1 million donation from Elon Musk.
So walk us through how you do it.
When I tell the Amish that they can vote a private, secret ballot that is mailed to their house and they don't have to have their buggy seen going to a polling location, they love the mail-in ballot.
But a lot of people sort of come up as social media influencers and then they fizzle out. And you actually, you know, took the opportunity.
Yeah, he's fizzled out.
And started doing something quantifiable.
He was at the Capitol on January 6th and at Trump's return to the scene of his near assassination in Butler.
President Trump took a bullet for us.
Last week, Pressler was in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, because of a controversy over what ballots would be counted in the Senate recount. A frustrated county commissioner had said some misdated and unsigned ballots would be counted despite the rules.
If I violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to it.
This went very viral, in part because of Pressler. She apologized at the next meeting.
The passion in my heart got the best of me, and I apologize again for that. I made a mistake.
But by then, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court had ruled those ballots wouldn't be counted. Pressler and his fans had won. Yet they turned out anyway, and the room had a kind of intense vibe.
Do you think the 2020 election was stolen?
It definitely was stolen.
Okay, so can you explain something to me? Why, if they can steal an election, why would they steal it once but not this year?
Because people were
too big to rig. Too big to rig.
On to them. The divisions in the Democrats made it very hard for them to try and steal it again.
Thank you to every single patriot that showed up today. You did it!
I think what you heard today is the frustration of people.
I think there's something really off about the way that every like Trump influencer carries themselves too. It's just like fucking weird.
People that have been told
they're so gross.
They are election deniers, and here we have a sitting commissioner that's an election denier, and we have a currently sitting Senator Bob Casey that is also an election denier, and it's almost karmic. And yes, that's why in part we were here to take a victory lap. We won, and we did it fair and square.
If we take that commissioner's words in the worst possible light, let's say she truly meant rules don't apply and she could count ballots that shouldn't be counted. She still failed to steal the election, right? Like, you guys still won Pennsylvania and Bucks County. So help me reconcile that with your past, with the Stop the Steal movement in 2020. Like, why could it have been stolen once but not a second time?
Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. If we let them get away with doing this now, they'll do it in 2026, they'll do it in 2028. This was us peacefully putting our feet down and saying, no, enough is enough, and we're not going to allow you to do illegal and unlawful actions. And we're going to hold you accountable.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Cheese. Trump.
I noticed that when you urge people to action,
yes,
you often include the word
peacefully.
Is that to avoid another Jan 6 type incident?
With all due respect, it's to avoid people like you guys saying that I'm anything but. My motto is to just be super cute, have my data and facts, treat everyone with love and respect, and as you can see, an army of people will follow.
And it was a small army, which included followers of a Korean church led by rapper King Bullethead.
Oh my God, it's the fucking AR-15, dude. Oh my God. Oh my God. American transgressions in Korea have looped itself back to the United States of America. Oh my God. This fucking cult. Oh my God, dude. Oh, the payoff. The payoff is endless. Okay. We got to go back to neo-Confucianism for you to fully comprehend what's going on here. Cult leader vibes out the tribes. No, he is literally a cult leader. This is the cult, the Moonies. This is the Moonies offshoot that like their AR-15s. Like they marry their guns, dude.
So when you were up there speaking, it almost seemed like you were taking a bit of a victory lap for turning Pennsylvania and this county red.
Absolutely. A lot of people questioned our
all because these Americans sailed up the Han River and forced Korea to trade.
Voter registration. They said, Scott, you know, flipping Bucks County to a plurality of registered Republicans, that's not going to translate into results. And yes, a little bit of the victory lap was here to say that for the first time since 1988, we flipped this county and it voted for President Trump. It's kind of, you know, saying to people, no, we're the real deal.
Pressler first got attention in 2017 when he worked for an anti-Muslim group and organized marches against Sharia, despite there being no Sharia law.
Organize marches against Sharia. Thank God, dude. Yeah, I know. I'm organizing marches against all the fucking elephants that are destroying my backyard.
In America. He was also involved with Gays for Trump.
You described yourself as a data guy.
Yes.
But early in your career, you were more of kind of like a social issues, culture war guy, like Gays for Trump or Act for America. Can you tell me about that shift in your career?
I have grown in how I approach politics. I see my work and my evolution in politics as I laid a foundation, and now I am meticulously building on that an esoteric understanding of how politics is going to win elections, focusing on demographic groups, get them registered, get them mobilized, get them out to vote.
Twice, RNC officials have indicated they would hire him, but it hasn't worked out. Still, he's built a loyal fan base.
Have you spoken to President Trump since the election?
I've spoken to Laura Trump.
What'd she say?
Our conversations out of respect to her and the Trump family are private, but she was congratulatory.
And what about Elon Musk?
I think he's a wonderful human being.
Have you talked to him since the election?
We've messaged. Okay. Nothing consequential.
God save America. Hallelujah.
Tonight.
It's not a hit piece. It's just a piece. I appreciated talking to us, and I think we had a good conversation. I don't get why, like, it literally was somewhat of a puff piece. Why is he fucking mad? I don't understand it.
$1 trillion on its own.
Robbie Starbuck, a political commentator and anti-DEI activist, celebrated the development. He's previously pressured companies, including Lowe's and John Deere, to change their policies.
We were able to have frank conversations with Walmart. And as I've said for a long time, I don't ask companies to take on my political views. I am simply advocating for corporate neutrality.
Walmart says many of the changes to its DEI programs were already planned and not a result of conversations with Starbuck. The company is pledging to better monitor third-party marketplace items to make sure they don't feature sexual and transgender products aimed at minors. Walmart says it will also review its funding to Pride events and will end racial equity training programs for staff. GLAAD, an LGBTQ advocacy group, has said we cannot let fear and fringe anti-LGBTQ activists dilute the work that has been done in the name of visibility, acceptance, and opportunity.
Companies need to listen to our movement. We are powerful and growing every single day. We will not stop until we have eliminated wokeness in corporate America.
Walmart also says it will no longer consider race and gender as a way to increase diversity when offering supplier contracts.
Walmart is a great American company and the nation's largest retailer, more than 1.6 million American employees alone, and annual global revenue of nearly $650 billion.
My controversial opinion is that nothing is going to change, at least in this sector. Hey, isn't this that guy that hates Palestinians? Who? Oh, Tony Double Cirque? Yeah, he is. That's Tony Two-Tone. Mr. Two-Time. Double Cirque. Tony DeCoppel. So, oh, speaking of Tony Double Cirque, I'm going to have Ta-Nehisi Coates on tomorrow on the broadcast. I'll be interviewing him. But that's neither here nor there. I wanted to talk about this specifically. They're taking shit off the shelves. They did this shit. Yeah, I mean, the garbage, like, fucking LGBTQ branded product that, like, that's not moving the needle. It's already bullshit to begin with. It's like, oh, on Pride Month, we're doing this. Now, the response is worse. To just like put out that garbage shit and then only to take it, take it away as though you are caving and capitulating to this like right-wing mob. I think that is not good. It's infinitely better to just never have this to begin with. Or if you're going to have it, then just don't fucking take it off the shelves. It's a self-own. It's an own goal for no fucking reason whatsoever. But in terms of like, oh, we're stopping our DEI initiatives or whatever the fuck, like, I think, I don't know. I mean, I don't think this is going to change anything. LGBT books are nice, man. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about fucking like rainbow colored t-shirts or whatever the fuck. But overall, I don't think that they're going to change their like hiring practices dramatically. They're just saying that they're moving away from DEI initiatives, whatever the fuck that means. I don't think that that's a real, I don't think that there is any sort of real change, especially because a lot of the DEI practices was simply just like HR shit. Like they're not going to be like, we're no longer hiring gay people. You know what I mean?
I'm happy to say we're joined now for an exclusive interview with John Furner, the president and CEO of Walmart US. John, thank you very much for joining us. I want to get into holiday shopping. I want to get into grocery prices, but I got to ask you off the top to talk about this report I'm reading in today's Wall Street Journal about how Walmart is pulling back on diversity, equity, and inclusion programs under pressure from a conservative activist. So a few of the changes here.
Like, I hate that this is the peak of activism in America, is like always centered around consumption. You know what I mean? Walmart puts out like, I don't know, gay t-shirts or something. And then they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. We're going to take away the gay t-shirts. It's like, was the initial act even all that significant in terms of progress?
They're phasing out the term DEI, winding down the Center for Racial Equity, no longer giving priority treatment to suppliers based on race or gender diversity, and preventing sellers from listing some transgender-related or themed items on the website. So is that accurate from what you're hearing, and why the changes?
Well, first of all, good morning, and thanks for having me. It's great to be here. I'm in Houston, Texas, in our Friendswood location, so it's exciting to be in the store this time of year. First, let me say, like many companies all across the United States, we've been on a journey, and we continue to be on.
The other part of this that I fear is like that right-wing Republicans see this as a massive victory, and so they'll move on to other more nefarious things that actually do end up harming gay people and trans people and shit like that. And also outside of that, this is seen as like giving the go-ahead to open up the faucet of hatred against marginalized communities in general, that like corporations are no longer even aesthetically in support of these marginalized groups.
A journey. And what we're trying to do is to ensure that every customer, every associate feels welcome here to shop and to feel like they belong. And that term belong, we've been talking about belonging now for almost 2 years.
CEOs coming in, stack the product like pyramids. Yeah, that's looking great. His background looks great.
Early 2023, we started talking about belonging. And we're going to continue to make the best decisions we can that makes everyone, our customers, our associates, feel like this is an environment they can shop in and thrive in.
Is diversity among your suppliers still important to you at Walmart, John?
Well, starting with our company back in 1962, we were a small business, a single store that operated out of Rogers, Arkansas. And so we'll continue to do the things that we can do to ensure that small suppliers have a path to being successful, not only at Walmart, but in their business in total. You know, every year we really focus on made in the USA. About 2/3 of what we sell is either made, grown, or assembled right here in the United States. We have a program every summer called Open Call, where we welcome in small suppliers and we welcome in people that have an idea, that are an entrepreneur and they want to learn. So we're going to continue to lean into ensuring that we provide the very best pathways for small businesses, our suppliers, to be successful here in the store. If I had more time, I could take you around the store and show you a few of those examples, but there are a lot of them, and there'll continue to be more.
All right, John, you mentioned that 2/3 of what you have is made in the U.S. Let's talk about that other third. President-elect Trump announced last night that on his first day in office, he will impose a 25% tariff on all products imported from Canada and Mexico. So how will that impact Walmart? What have y'all done to actually prepare for that? Have you guys been stockpiling in anticipation of these tariffs?
Well, first, I'll just say again, about 2/3 of what we sell is made, grown, or assembled here in the United States, and we've been very supportive all the way back to our founder of products that are made in the United States. Just a couple of days ago, someone sent me a photo of Mr. Walton, actually my father, who worked at the company with the president of Lodge, one of our brands that's here in the store, in camping cookware. So we'll be ready to be we'll adjust to any environment. We've been in an environment with tariffs now for the last 7 years, and we have a team of people that are really experienced in managing.
Yeah, these avocados you see behind me have been assembled in the United States in an American facility. Okay, yes, it was picked in Mexico and shipped into the United States from Mexico, but we assembled it here.
Changes in the environment. Now, our purpose is to try to keep prices low, to help people save money and enable them to live better. Now, certainly there'll be some occasions.
Damn, dude, Walmart seems dope. When you hear the CEO say, oh, our main purpose is not to farm American subsidies paid for by the tax dollars and heavily rely on the welfare state in an effort to refuse to pay any of our workers an honest wage, where me and my brothers and sisters own 50% of shares of the company. So every single day we edge closer and closer to being the wealthiest Americans. And as a collective, we are the wealthiest family in America. But hey, we care about you. We don't care about that. We care about making sure costs are low, you know? That's one of the craziest parts about the Walton family is that you directly, Walmart shares directly enrich them, 7 people. Okay. When they make moves, 7 total people are getting billions of fucking dollars directly in their pockets. It's crazy. It's not, oh, this guy's not a Walton. I thought maybe he was one of the Walton. I thought one of the CEOs was a Walton. No, I guess not. My bad. He's just the high paid, is he not? Wait, hold on. Let's look. Walmart CEO. Oh, wait. This is Doug McMillan? He looks very different here. What the fuck? Do I have face blindness? John Furner. Oh, John Furner's the former CEO of Sam's Club. He began his career at Walmart in 1993. He became the president and CEO of Walmart US in November 2019. Walmart US and Walmart are different. He's wearing the same damn suit in the Wikipedia page. No, that's a gray one. Stuart Walton. Bro went employee to CEO, kind of nice with it. Yeah, they're just a small mom and pop shop, chat.
Where you may see some impact on price, but we'll do everything we can between our suppliers, our supply chain, and do.
I want to make a correction. It's not 50%. It's an estimated 45% of Walmart stock is held between the families of 7 heirs founders of Sam Walton and his brother Bud. I said it's around 50% or 50%. I was wrong. Is actually 45%.
Do everything we can to help ensure that we're as efficient as possible to keep prices as low as we can. And that's exactly what we do each and every day, including right now in the holidays.
Are you worried about the tariffs, though?
Well, we want to do everything we can, as I mentioned, to keep prices as low as possible. Right now, we just know what we've heard and what we've read about in the last 24 hours. And those changes, they may happen, they may not. That'll be up to the administration. But we'll be evaluating carefully. And we want to ensure that we have great values for our customers. I mean, this week we have a Thanksgiving basket where you can feed your family for under $7. And it's a quality meal. This is 29 ingredients, all proportioned appropriately. There'll be great deals on Friday.
This motherfucker's doing an ad, bro. He literally turned a question about why they're melting all the gay stuff off the shelves into how much they love feeding the poor and the hungry for an affordable price, and then and it's just straight up doing a fucking ad. Fuck this guy. Drake files another lawsuit, by the way, today.